St. George would be exciting, or wasn't that the big city on the other side of the wide, wonderful world? The very suggestion that we might go set me afire. Such a full, happy day. Things new and strange everywhere. Experiences to talk over and relive for a long time to come.
Only one I never mentioned, but tried hard to put it into the back of my mind and forget it. It happened like this.
All activities centered in the tabernacle that day, but as soon as I had the chance, I slipped away. I had a dime and 3 nickels that I had been saving for weeks, tucked into my handkerchief, and I had seen a sign advertising ice cream just a little way east of the tabernacle. I found the place and stepped inside. To my right, on tall stools by a counter, 2 young ladies were sipping something out of tall goblets with straws. This almost stopped me, but gathering courage, I continued to walk in. To my surprise, a little funny-looking girl came forward to meet me.
May I help you?
No, sir. Not right now.
The girls at the counter started giggling and whispering to each other. It seemed like they were talking about me. I'm sure I heard one mention my shoes and another my purse. The soiled handkerchief with my coins. I looked back at the funny-looking girl, her messy hair loosely braided, her faded red calico dress. Suddenly, it dawned on me. Horrors! It was me, myself, in a full-length mirror I was looking at. Did I look like that? As I bolted for the door, the laughs behind me increased. Outside the door, I was so weak that I could hardly stand upright. My day was ruined. Maybe my whole life was ruined. But I had nowhere to go except back to the tabernacle to join the crowd. For the rest of my life, I never told a soul about what had happened and the experience of seeing myself as others see me for the first time.
We've got the only list you'll need to stay on top of this season's most exciting trends.
This collection is all about glamour.
From luxurious layers
I love all the luxurious fabric.
A little bit of fur.
I like that there's like a little bit of sweetness and girliness back.
Kind of a 70s Switzerland feel with a kind of a chic frostiness.
to striking silhouettes.
I love it. It's time to be a lady again.
Bold new designs.
It's all about rugged elegance.
I'm like a leather fanatic.
Break out the credit cards and let's go shopping. The Style List. Fall's top 10 trends start right now. Hello, fashion friends. Welcome to The Style List. I'm Jeannie Mai. The leaves are turning and the days are getting shorter. Fall has definitely arrived, right? Well, that means the runway looks we were obsessing about a few months ago are finally hitting stores. There were so many exciting trends, but we narrowed them down to the top 10 essentials you don't want to go without. All right, ladies, put down the 50 Shades of Grey and pick up this vibrant fall fashion gem. Rich, sumptuous jewel tones have replaced the drab neutrals as the must-have color palette of the season. Take a look.
There's a plethora of sort of jewel tones, blues on blues, going into these sort of rich emerald greens.
Colors like amethyst, ruby. I think jewel tones and gem tones are going to be really strong. I think we've already started to see a lot of like deep purples and jade, cobalt, colors like that are coming forth. I feel like it's definitely the most color I've probably ever done.
The color for fall is just richer, deep hues, red, burgundy, yellows, deep turquoises. So I want to celebrate women. There's so many great, strong, independent women, and that's what you have to be to wear these clothes.
I was looking at a kaleidoscope and was just really inspired by all the colors and the prints.
You're going to see color blocking, which will still continue. The message is continued. How do you evolve it?
For maximum impact, try a head-to-toe monochromatic scheme. One overall color will help you look taller and thinner. But if that's too bold, here's a clue on how to rock that hue.
I love a colored dress. Get a dress with lots of color, and then you can always kind of begin to like layer it with sweaters and neutrals, or it goes back to a black coat.
For fall, I think kind of the deep reds, the kind of russet colors, all of that's going to be a big part of fall.
I think red's a great color all around. I love red, and I think all women look pretty good in red.
Of course, not everyone is jumping on the color wheel this season.
A lot of the collections have been very black-based again, and I just think the customer's ready for that again.
But even Badgley Mishka couldn't resist adding a little sparkle from the jewelry box.
I'd say our accent color this season is emerald. We haven't done it in years. It just looks beautiful to us right now.
Add something colorful to your wardrobe. It makes people feel happy and lifts up everyone.
It looks really cool. Like I really, really like the color this year.
You heard it here. Investing in key jewel tones will really pay off this fall.
Here at KSL, we're getting ready for the Olympics. It's a big deal around here. 2.5 hours every single morning. It's a marathon. Some of us just have different ways of preparing.
Lack of sleep strains your health and your performance, but it also can strain your relationships, and a lot of us are suffering. Dr. Chris Hammond is a neurologist at the Ogden Clinic. He's joining me to talk about some of the medical causes contributing to poor sleep and how you can end those sleepless nights. Let's put it into numbers if we can, Doctor. How many of us are tossing and turning at night and struggling to sleep?
Over 50% of people will complain of insomnia at some point in their lives. Now, insomnia, we use that as a very generalized term. Insomnia can reflect many problems, so that's really up to physicians, your care provider, to determine what's causing your sleep disruption. And that's the point I want to make today, is sleep deprivation and its consequences. Sleep deprivation can be from primary insomnia, but there's also many other sleep problems. Obstructive sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, circadian dysfunction. There are a whole host of many others, but of course we want to focus on a few. But in the clinic we can examine what's causing insomnia or sleep deprivation in general. And so yes, there are many problems with sleep. We know that.
Yeah.
The example I like to make is all of us know how we feel the next day when we don't get a good night's sleep. Especially recognized at work, we may not perform as well, or not able to multitask as well as we normally do. And you can take that, you can take those examples and equate that into your home environment, or any relationship for that matter. Of course, our interpersonal skills are affected as a consequence to sleep deprivation. There's many physiological explanations for that. For example, if you're not able to get a good night's sleep, our cognitive performance is going to be affected by as a consequence, poor attention.
Right, right. It all kind of can be a ripple effect from that one bad night of rest or lack of rest.
Well, absolutely.
You've brought the mask here, which I know indicates the sleep apnea, which you touched on. How often are these sleep problems related to sleep apnea?
Very common. We know sleep apnea is experienced in about almost a quarter of the population.
Really?
And it can be very subtle. Quite often recognized by the bed partner can be the first indication that this person is suffering from sleep apnea. For example, snoring and witness apneas is what we call, meaning a person sees their bed partner stop breathing.
Well, let me ask you this. How can you be tested to know if sleep apnea is really your issue?
Well, if you do have those symptoms, or you feel tired in the daytime, time. Those can be related to your physician, and that can be examined further from a standardized sleep test. It can be a home sleep test or in a lab or office somewhere.
And from your experience, if once someone has been diagnosed and they're working through the treatment options, what are the results? Can they really sleep better and as a result live better? As a matter of fact, yes. So we have the more immediate effects of treated sleep apnea, which can include obviously more heightened awareness, cognition, less fatigue. We're able to multitask, we're able to function much better on the more personal level. And so those communication skills are obviously improved. But we also understand long-term benefits of treated sleep apnea, because we know untreated sleep apnea will lead to potentially high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, and many forms of heart disease. All serious conditions, so definitely something to pay attention to and take note of. Thank you so much for the overview today. We'll let you know if you want more information or if you would like to schedule a consultation, you can go to ogdenclinic.com so you can start getting your best sleep too. And we'll be right back.